Hello and welcome to Tara's Daily Insight and the Open Door. So after Tara's Daily Insight, make sure you stay tuned for the new series called The Open Door, which I've been doing just impromptu and organic, but now I'm going to make it a little more determined. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and say that this is Saturday, April the 13th, 2013. And I want to set the intention for you and for me that we would receive guidance, confirmation, healing, better connection to our higher self and our intuition and source. I also want to set the intention that you and I would resonate, operate, and vibrate excuse me, in the highest possible frequency of love that we can today and be in alignment and harmony with our true self and with source. I felt it coming on and I thought I can get past this. So, woo, there it is again. So, and you know I don't like to retape. I think I've only done it twice in my life, and that was when I fumbled my name in the beginning. So, did I say my name? This is Mitchell. Boy, it's random fun today. So, not retaping. You're getting the whole real deal. So, let me go ahead and shuffle my cards. And we will dive right into this. The door has been open since I've started. I've been setting that intention beforehand. And if you don't know what that means, basically I just set the intention with all my guides and ascended masters, teachers, anyone on the other side that is vibrating as high as possible in pure love and light, that they can use me as a channel to speak through. So, and I'm very warm right now. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out in the open door section. So first, Tara's Daily Insight. This is going to be our Four of Cups, and I'll go ahead and bring this card in. And as you can see, the number 4, as I've spoken many times on here, is a very solid, very stable, very peaceful number. The way you can remember that is think of like 4 corners of the home, you know, the 4 foundation. A lot of businesses and corporations will use like 4 points to be their cornerstones, and it's just to show the solidity and not non-movement. So not a lot of non-movement going on. As you can see, this guy sitting here, he's got 3 cups on the ground and he's pondering that 4th cup. So he's in a state of kind of there's peace. There's inquiry as well, and because we're dealing with the element of cups, there's lots of emotions going on. This card can often mean about maybe a new love, maybe, you know, connecting with a new thought and feeling, which is creating emotions inside them. It's usually about pondering a question or hesitating to move forward. So very neat card, and I would say the message for today is, usually it's go for it and not wait too long, but I really am hearing today to use the energy of this card in kind of I'm hearing the word platform. So like standing on your platform, observing, taking the time. This is not a day to rush into things. So when the decision might comes up, like I said, most of the time I will say, you're just sitting there waiting to make a decision. Go ahead and make one. Take it. Jump. Reach up and grab the cup. But today I'm saying pretty much the opposite. Really take your time. And I asked in my head, well, should they just logically figure out the answer and the question? And I still heard, no, this is about emotions. So just take your time with this. Allow the emotions to do their job and not rush into anything today. Feels very family oriented, like relationships and things that are already there. I feel like someone's questioning whether or not to end something, like a friendship or a relationship. So hold off on that just a little bit longer. So there is our Tara's Daily Insight, and what I'm going to do now is just kind of close that off, and I'm going to shift into the open door, so stay tuned. Video, and this is the open door, and just where I'm going to continue what I've been doing the last couple of days and just letting Spirit take us anywhere. Leading off of the card that we just had about kind of waiting a little bit, I really am hearing the message, especially there's one woman I feel like you really need to hold tight on the relationship you've been wondering whether or not to end. And I mean, this is a definite ending. This is just not, oh, a friend. This is like a long time friend. You are shifting, growing, and changing. They are not. And I'm hearing that you are still a good example for them. I'm not saying that friendship would not end or dwindle away in the near future, but I really feel like right now you are still a teacher by example for this person. limit your time with them, and it's just a slight pullback. They're going to feel it, which I'm hearing they will then pay more attention to what you're doing. So now is the time to really lead by example, especially from a spiritual aspect, creating, manifesting, how you handle situations, how you react to adversity. So you really are going to be a teacher right now. And I have an image. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Kind of tall, lean, blonde hair. And when I say tall, definitely above 5'6". So that's my image of who you are. And just hold on to that. I keep getting an L name, and there's one good friend out there with an L name, and I know you're blonde. I don't know how tall you are, but this could be you. But I think that there will be others as well that this will fit. So don't let the L name stick with you. Getting a wonderful image of an African American man, and he's real old school, like 1960s kind of South feel, driving up even in his old car, almost like what's the blues player? I can't think of his name, but I get this feel of him arriving home. Hadn't been home in a long time. Lots of wonderful embrace. The person, he's got more fear and trepidation than you do. And I think I'm talking to the person he's arriving to. It feels like daughter or granddaughter. My message from the other side is take a breath, embrace it. This is a long time coming. This is healing for both parts. I feel like you've both done the work of forgiveness and moving on with your life, but this is kind of like the final act, if you will. And actually, I get a lot of music around this guy too. Get a J name as well for him, and a G name for the girl. But don't hold on to those. I just deliver them if I get them. So in other words, don't get stuck to them, especially if everything else fits but the letter. Sometimes that's just for one person, and then the message continues on for others. Because right now, these open door messages are hitting about 3 to 4 people, and I love how Spirit can do that, because you hear what you need to hear from the messages. So embrace this homecoming, this long time healing. I'm seeing and it feels more like state or county level female politician stepping up. She is dropping a bomb on everybody and stepping down or out, retiring. She gets it. She gets it's not worth it anymore for her family. I feel like she's single mom of 2 or 3. One may be already off to college and the other still home. But this is very wonderful. It's a positive step, because there are so many people that are stepping into that political arena who are spiritually minded like us, and we need them there working behind the scenes, as tough and frustrating as it is. Being reminded of something a friend of mine said, and a distant friend. I grew up in a small town, and they created a wonderful yoga studio and mental health facility, and they teach law of attraction and feng shui and all these cool things. And I remember coming back to the small town and saying, I'm so amazed at what you're doing here. This is wonderful. And she very lovingly, it wasn't like a correction or anything, she just said, and the example was Sedona. She said, well, if I move to Sedona, where it's a plethora of spiritually minded people already seeking, she said, what good can I do there? Here I am in this small town. Think of the good and the messages that I can deliver and the people that can get it. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. So it's when I kind of stopped questioning where I am work-wise, because I still have a daytime career. So I know I'm affecting people's lives. Actually, I had somebody who came into my office, and we had just a really nice, cool conversation about some things, spiritual and not. And the next day, she just walked back up to me. She said, when I left your office, I just felt so much better. And I know for me, the reason why was because at that moment, I am setting the intention, let us vibrate and resonate and operate as high as we can. I knew immediately, Spirit's telling me, this is a moment for both of us to bring our vibration up higher. And she felt it. She got it. So be the change in the most awkward places, because that's where you can make the most effect, have the most effect. So I love what she taught me in just one sentence. If I go to Sedona, what kind of a change and effect can I have versus being in a town where there's nothing like this? Not that you can't make that kind of wonderful change in a place like Sedona, but you know what? small town USA, and they have no metaphysical bookstores. One of the reasons why I do this video, because if I'd had this 20 years ago, who knows where I would be and what I'd be doing. But I believe everything and timing is right. So all that being said, thank you for watching Tara's Daily Insight. Thank you for watching this section of The Open Door. I'll put my website down at the bottom here. You can jump over there and see some of my free stuff. As well as get on the emailing list. If you get on it by today, I will check it, but this afternoon I'm going to post or send out my 3rd newsletter, so that will come out today, and I always put in free meditation and some other specials that go on there. So have a wonderful Saturday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, which is 3 Card Sunday.